Good evening, everyone. My name's Jack Whitehall, and it's my huge pleasure to be a guest once again on this show. I'm hosting. Oh. Well, we can do this, can't we? Welcome to the Graham Norton Show.
Jack Whitehall is on tour. Yes, he is. It's called Jack Whitehall Gets Around. Then you start on the 5th of March next year, and then you go all around the country, and you finish on the 16th of March. You don't get around a lot.
It's a very compact tour, but I'm going to lots of places. It is the biggest tour I've ever done. It is. And I'm doing it in the round, which is new. And I've been doing lots of, warm-up dates before. I start in Aberdeen, and then I end in Wembley, and it's sold quite well in some places. Not in Aberdeen. So that's the kind of, the main thrust is if anyone is watching from Aberdeen, I just need to sell one more ticket, and there will be more people in the audience than there are on stage, and that's what we need. Please. And I love Aberdeen as well. Can I just take this opportunity to say I'm a big fan of the city. I love its fish trawler port, which is the biggest in Europe.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah,
wow.
It's great.
It's that sort of local stuff.
I love the fact that in Aberdeen, more medieval coin haulages have been found than anywhere else in the UK.
The River Dee rises at approximately 4,000 feet in elevation.
The River Dee rises at approximately 4,000... This one's good, this one's good. Robert. What else is great about Aberdeen and why I'm really looking forward to going there is where else would you find a city where Robert Henderson designed the first iron lung in Aberdeen in 1933. We love you, Aberdeen.
That tour is sold out.
Sold.
It's sold out.
And what a perfect place to start my wide tour.
But talking of joining big franchises, were you very nervous, Jack Whitehall, joining a big Disney franchise like Frozen?
Yes, so, Frozen. I was very excited when the call came in, because I'm a massive Disney fan, and Frozen called me up. They said, we're making this film, and we'd love you to be a part of it. I was like, yep, sign me up. Which princess am I playing? And I played a troll in the film. I had one line in the film, but I was like, yeah, I'd love to do it. I learnt my line. I went in. I'm not... Yeah,
nailed it.
I nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Yeah. It was so good. And then I told everyone that I was in Frozen. I did a press junket in front of the poster. No. I was so excited. And then 6 months later, popped on the black tie, went down to the Odeon in Putney. It wasn't a premiere. It was a mistake. I watched the film, got to the end, and the line wasn't there. So I called my agent. I was like, there must be some kind of mistake. This must be some different director's cut that I've seen. And she went, oh, no, I forgot to tell you. I got an email about this. They said that they have reduced your part in the film to a non-speaking role. In an animation! The worst thing is that it then becomes the biggest film ever. I love the film, and yet every time I watch it, it's like getting an icy dagger to my heart. And that song, as well, is like they're heckling me. Like, let it go. No, I won't!
But is your character still in it?
Yes, you can see the character, and he goes to open his mouth, and then it cuts away. Loki, the troll. He even had a name.
Fantastic.
Because are you working with a Frozen?
Yeah. I just worked with Josh.
Josh Gad.
Yeah. Yes. And on a Beauty and the Beast for Disney.
You're doing Beauty and the Beast for
Disney?
Disney?
The candlestick.
You are really good at rubbing it in this evening. And they're not Lumiere. You're Lumiere.
Yeah. They're not cutting out Lumiere. Lumiere's in.
I didn't know that your name was pronounced Whitehall until he just announced it, because you're in my phone as Jack Puppy.
Puppy?
Yeah. Jack and I met on a magical night out when I humiliated myself more than I've ever had before.
It was probably the best moment of my life. Maybe the worst of Jen's.
Mine. For the first time ever, like in my career, I never assume anyone knows who I am. Yeah. And I saw Harrison Ford and like J.J. Abrams, and I was like, yeah, this is fine. We're all co-workers. Like, I can just go. So I was like, be right back, guys. I'm gonna go say hi to the Star Wars dudes. And I approached their table and was like, and the whole table was just like, And so I realized while I was dancing, I was like, they have no idea who I am. They have no idea who I am. And so I just turned around and walked back. Dying.
Because I'd done this show with Harrison Ford, so he's like the only A-list Hollywood star that I know. I mean, he's the only one that I have. So she had just been blanked, and I was like, hey, it's all right, I'll go say hi to Harrison. Everyone in the group was like, Jack, don't do this. You will be humiliated. I was like, nah, me and Harrison are tight. They genuinely had no idea. So I get up, I walk over, and at this point, I'm like, oh, God, maybe he won't remember me, and I will be humiliated as well. I walked over, and literally, as I walked over, he was like, hey, Jack!
You know the way they do the male nude pictures in Cosmo for raise awareness for testicular cancer? Well, he's done one.
You look a little nervous.
Yeah.
He's all right. He's all right.
It's such a ludicrous photograph.
It is.
Oh, wow.
They gave me that duck.
Is that a rubber ducky?
Yeah. It's about 5 times the size that duck needed to be as well. It's a massive duck, and that water was very cold as well, which is why it was so big. They made me do it as well in someone else's house. They rent out a house and you go and have the photo in it. But what they didn't tell me is that the house that they rented was a house that was round the corner from my house. They were my neighbours. So they sent a car to my house, collected me. I drove round the corner, rang on the doorbell of one of my neighbours that we don't even really like. And I was like, I'm going to take off my clothes now and get you a bath. Charity.
It's all good. It's all good.
See, look at this sofa. You look at the sofa, and you've got two sort of, venerable acting legends at this end.
Thank you.
And then more relative greenhorns. Greenhorns down the other. So, I just wondered if there was any, advice you give the youngsters, because, Jack, I know you were a little paranoid, and you foolishly Googled yourself, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. I'd read some things that you should remember when you're acting, and one of them was about stillness. Mm-hmm. You have to be still in scenes. So I was like, that's what I need to do. I just need to be really still in every scene that I do. So I did this scene. I mean, I just didn't move, just stared at the person opposite. And it went out. I was like, I think I've got away with it. People thought I was all right. And I Googled myself, and I found a forum, and the topic on the forum was, does Jack Whitehall have a glass eye? And all these people discussing whether I had a glass eye or not. So then, and then it made that even worse, because then the next time I was like, I'm going to prove them I don't have a glass eye. You see my eyes just like... Never read anything.
No, because, Michael Caine, you did the famous acting masterclasses.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
They were in the 80s, wasn't it? Kind of late 80s?
Yeah, it must have been the 80s.
Yeah.
Years ago.
I saw one.
Did you?
Yeah, and it gave me a big lesson in movie acting. Big lesson.
What was it?
About where to look when you on the close-up.
Yeah, I'm doing it to you now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One eye and you look at it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because in the movies, because it's so high, usually when you engaged with someone, you're looking from eye to eye for some reason or other. And in the movies, you're either jerking around like that, and it's not really cool.
It is cool.
Right.
It's very cool.
A little later, darling.
No, you were also positioned behind you. There's a camera, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
So if I'm naturally talking to you, my 2 eyes are on you here, and we're talking. In a camera, I move over to there, and my other eye is in the camera, but I'm looking at you.
Ooh.
That's
Very
the
good.
trick.
Wow.
And you don't blink unless you've got something in your eye.
Yeah. I don't have to blink at all.
Marlene Dietrich told me that. Marlene Dietrich told me that, yeah. I was at a birthday party for Liza Minnelli, and her godmother was Marlene Dietrich. And then she saw me, and I was just sort of famous as Alfie or something, and she knew who I was. And she said to me, you're supposed to be a movie star. Why are you dressed so scruffily? And she started giving me a about dressing. And I thought, this is Marlene Dietrich, And there was a buffet, and she said, there's a buffet, let's have dinner. So I said, oh, OK, all right, OK. I said, come on then, we'll go and choose. She said, no, you choose. I said, what do you want? She said, whatever you have, I'll have it. And then I sat down and she said, and another thing, you're using the wrong eyes. And then she told me that story. It's amazing. And then someone else said, never blink. People don't like that when you blink, no.
Never, what, keep them
unless
open?
there is a reason.
There's a reason.
Other
If
than
you've got-
having something, you can make comments.
Yeah.
with-
I've talked to you without
blink,
blinking
you
the
know.
entire time.
You didn't blink once.
I
just assumed you may have had a glass eye.
No, I'm just I'm trying to be like you.
Just keeping
Have a glass eye. You mustn't blink.
Hello and welcome! How weird is this? I am so honoured to be here. Yes, Graham has asked me to stand in for him while he's away hosting the Eurovision Song Contest. Actually, it's part of an exchange. I'm doing this, and in return, he is taking my dad round Mykonos for 4 months. Look at all of this, though. We've got the sofa, the red chair is back there. It's kind of like I'm in Graham's house for a week whilst he's away. Like an Airbnb. Although I hope it's not like the last time I used Airbnb. I lost my damage deposit because I had sex on the sofa. I'm sure nothing like that will happen tonight, although David Walliams is on the show. This is such a great sofa. I'm so pleased to have you all on as my guests this evening, and oh my God, Gwendolyn Christie. This is so exciting. Start of the biggest show on earth. And big congratulations, you've made it through to the end without being murdered.
Can you address me as Sir?
Sir.
Please.
Yes.
It's Sir Gwendolyn Christie now.
Sir Gwendolyn Christie.
Have you followed the whole series?
Yes?
Have you watched it all from the beginning?
I'm waiting for George R.R. Martin to finish writing the book so I can read them first.
So you've never seen it?
No, I have seen episodes.
What episodes have you seen?
How many?
Have you seen my episodes?
Yes, I've seen your episodes. I've seen you fighting the Hound.
What
That
else
was
have you
amazing.
seen?
I've seen you fighting a bear.
What else have you seen?
I've seen you in some suits of armour.
And what else have you seen?
I've seen you with Jamie Lannister going...
So you've seen it all!
I've seen it all!
Whitehall, Jack Whitehall, for it is you. Now, I mean, you know, we see you on your television, but really, you are in America now. You are making films. Yes. Proper films.
I've been off making some films. Hopefully I might stay in some of them and they might appear on screen at some point.
No, but look, here you are with The Rock. I mean, you're in a film with The Rock.
I did a film with The Rock, yes. He's the best man I've ever met. He's one... Well, second best, maybe now.
Yeah.
He's amazing, and he's the kindest guy. He has this gym that he travels with, which I got to go into, which I felt very honoured to be invited into the Iron Paradise.
Ooh, is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's his travelling gym. And one day on set, he was like, "Do you work out?" And I was like, "Yep, yep." Quadzilla here. And he invited me round to the gym, and I went round, and these machines are enormous. He had taken all of the weights off all of the machines, so it was just the bars. And even then, I was like, I don't think I can manage those. So I went in the corner and got onto an exercise bike and popped in an audiobook. And he's in the other corner with, like, a chain around his neck, and he's crunching all of this iron, like, listening to rap music. And I'm over there, like, want to call the midwife. Bootling along.
But you are going back on the road. You're going back to stand-up. Is it going to be nice to kind of do your own stuff again, have your own words?
Yeah, I think so. I think because I've been doing quite a lot of family films as well for the last 2 years, I've been quite censored, and this tour might be the shackles coming off a little bit.
Oh, right.
And I've got some... always with these tours of mine, I love to put on a show. And this year I promised my promoter, I was like, I'm just going to keep it simple. It's just going to be me and a microphone. And this week, for the finale, I booked 20 dancers, a choir, 2 acrobats, and a rig so that I can fly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's selling tickets
I
right
want to
there.
be the Beyonce of comedy.
Now, talking of working with The Rock, I mean, that was really one of your heroes.
I was obsessed with him.
But like, but no.
It did sound a bit creepy, didn't it?
Well, it's going to get creepier. So you made Jungle Cruise.
I really like The Rock.
But you made Jungle Cruise with him, and was it after that you came home and found your exercise book?
Yeah, I found my sketchbook from when I was at school, and in it there were some drawings, some sketches that I'd done of The Rock, because I was that obsessed with him.
Now, how old
Not
were
weird
you?
ones.
How old were you?
Just him naked on a chaise longue.
How old
old are you when you drew this?
I was like maybe 13, 14. I know. Thank you.
Yeah,
it was my art project at school, and I drew loads of pictures of The Rock, and I sent them to Emily Blunt and said, please don't tell him. Obviously, she sends them straight to him, so now he thinks I'm even weirder than he already did.
Does he know that you did them when you were, like, young, or does he think you're doing them now?
No, maybe he doesn't. I don't know whether she made that clear. But I've just gone home from the shoot and I've been sketching him and then sending them to him. I really miss you. No, I did those when I was a child, not as a grown man.
But now you found other sketches in your exercise
That's
book.
really freaked me out now. I'm going to have to message him and clarify, just to let you know, these were from 10 years ago. Here are the ones I've done recently.
But you found other sketches in the exercise book.
Yeah, it's quite weird.
It is
the
quite
sketchbook. It was from when I was at boarding school, and so the other sketches in it are... I remember quite vividly when I was at school, because we couldn't, you know, get access to the internet, so it was quite a lot of sort of young, horny boys away at boarding school, and my friends used to ask me to draw quite sort of soft-core pornographic material. So I used to draw sort of half-naked ladies for my friends.
Here's a beautiful picture.
Lovely.
Here's a beautiful picture of the glamour model Katie Price, formerly known as Jordan.
Yeah, it's tasteful.
I mean, that is...
You know... I've just signed it at the top as well.
Yeah. Jordan.
Jordan.
No, but you have signed it. You have signed it like Jack Whitehall and a little copyright thing.
Have I actually put a copyright?
You put a little copyright over
Such a weird little boy. Like someone would be trying to steal this image and profit from it. Patriotic as well.
Now, so oh yes, very patriotic. So this is Jordan. Now, this next one's incredible.
I have no idea what this next one is.
OK, so we are showing... I didn't know whether you wanted to show this or not.
What is it? Is it from the sketchbook?
It's from the sketchbook. You sent it to us.
I don't remember.
It's the end of the sketchbook, and it's odd.
OK. Now I'm terrified.
Well, it's... Should we see it?
Yes. This was for an art project.
Cindy's very keen now. Yeah, let's see it. This was at the back of the exercise book.
It's actually really... It's like surreal art.
It's
like surrealism. I think they're lovely. They're actually quite... It's
what a
quite good.
It's a bit like my housemaster. I don't think it was... No, that's a joke. That's not.
I wonder what the inspiration was for this. What were you thinking at this moment in time?
Oh, Cynthia, I wouldn't...
I think that's a conversation I should have with a therapist.
Yeah, that's not chat show. No.
I was a keen amateur artist.
Yes, he found inspiration everywhere, Cynthia.
Yes.
Judy, were you a fan of the repair shop before you went on it?
Oh, yes, we've been fans since it kind of began.
Yeah.
And then we went on it, and I got Michael's watch back.
Yeah, that's
in
right.
Edinburgh.
Yeah, Edinburgh. Yeah, it was up in Edinburgh.
It was. So
yeah.
It's very, very special. I understand
so good.
absolutely people crying.
Yeah.
I had to ban it in my house.
Really?
Yeah, because I love it. I love repair shops so much.
why
But
you
because
ban it?
it's so emotional, well, because my problem is, you mentioned that you're not a big crier. I am a very big crier.
Yeah.
I cry at anything and everything, like funerals, weddings. I cried the other day at an episode of Tipping Point.
Wow.
And
you've got it bad then.
It's really bad.
Okay.
And so, you know, to give it some context as well, 7 weeks ago, my girlfriend just gave birth to a little baby girl.
Oh, go on, around.
No, it's not mine, but... Well, she is. We think she is. No, not we think. She is. My daughter. Anyway, so I'm watching this episode of Tipping Point, and it was a couple of weeks before the baby was due, and I'm watching this episode, and it was about this woman that was trying to win the jackpot so she could pay for a flight to see her sister in New Zealand, and honestly, I'm watching it, and she wins the jackpot, and I'm like Paul Gascoigne in Natalia 90, just waterworks, like undignified levels of crying. And then I had this awful thought. It was like, if I'm crying at an episode of Tipping Point and then I don't cry at the birth of my daughter, I'm a monster. So then I was like, in my head, so I was like, I can't watch anything emotional. I need to be careful about what I watch on TV. Obviously, in the end, I had nothing to worry about because my baby girl arrived and I was just like, It was like the most emotional episode of Repair Shop to the power of Mufasa dying in Lion King. I was like, I handed this baby and the bomb was like instant. Even though when they first come out as well, sorry, no one warned me of that when the baby first comes out, they don't like... How can I put this in a nice way? They look a bit odd. Like, no, she looks amazing now and she's so beautiful, but, like, when they first come out of the oven, they don't look Star Baker quality. And I was handing this little thing and I was like, oh, my God, I think maybe it needs to go back in the oven at a lower heat for 20 minutes. And they're all in your face. The nurse is like, oh, do you think she looks like Daddy or Mummy? I'm like, right now, all I'm getting is Wayne Rooney. And... It was very emotional. So now I can watch Repair Shop again.
Watch it now.
So Elsie, 7 weeks old. And was Elsie always the name you were going to go for?
No, to be fair, it was a little bit of a battle.
Oh, there's
that's
Roxy.
very sweet.
Was Elsie Roxy's choice of name?
Roxy's choice of name was... No, it was also my choice of name. I basically had a month before the baby arrived where there was a lot of me trying to spike inappropriate name suggestions of Roxy's.
Like what?
Well, there was one... This was, like, a couple of weeks before baby arrived and she came into the bedroom, Roxy, and she was like, OK, I was thinking, if it's a girl, Phoenix. I was thinking... over my dead body. And she was like, why? Phoenix is a cute name, it's a sweet name. I was like, I think Phoenix sounds like a stripper name. And she went, how would you know that? I was like, don't know, I've never been to a strip club in my life. But we should probably do some due diligence if we're going to call our child this name. Yeah. So I was like, can we Google it, please? She was like, Google what? I was like, I don't know, type in top 10 stripper names. So then we had this weird moment. We're at home. She's got all the baby name books out, and I'm on Google typing in top 10 stripper names. There is a website with the top 10 stripper names, and to be fair to her, Phoenix was not on it. Do you know what number 1 was? Yeah. Roxy. Oh, no. Okay, you don't want to see. You don't want to see. She'll want me to add that she's called Roxy because her dad named her after his favourite song, which is actually quite sweet. Oh. She also suggested that. She was like, we could go that route. I was like, we are not calling our kid Mambo number 5. Not happening.
Oh, but you, Lewis, you were in Cars 2. What amusing character did you play in Cars 2?
Myself. But I had to do it in several languages. I had about 3 lines, and I did it in 4 different languages. So it was just a conversation with McQueen. It's really cool. So I did it in Spanish, German, and French, and English. Yeah.
And have you seen the film?
Oh yeah, of course.
You're sure you're in it? Because I could.
It's definitely there. And I was one of the only cars that didn't blow up, so I'm hoping to come back for number 3.
Cars 3, bigger part. Nice.
Exactly.
Nice.
I do love Disney, but the other reason that Disney is now ruined for me is because I went to the Disney Hotel. Have you ever been to the Disney Hotel? I was doing work in America. I was there for a month, and I love Disney, but it's too Disney. There's like Disney everywhere. Disney wallpaper,
is that for kids,
music. Yeah, it is for kids. But I was working for the Disney Corporation, so I think they were trying to save some money. I'm not a weirdo, I promise. But they also have Disney staff members, so, like, characters. So, like, Goofy's doing teppanyaki in the restaurant. You get a wake-up call, it's Daffy Duck's voice.
Service to come and...
Yeah, they're walking around the hotel. But the moment that my childhood died was, like, I think it was about 2 weeks in, I was very tired and alone. I was in my room and I called down to the front desk and it was Mickey Mouse's voice. He was like, hey, 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 buddy, what can I do for you today? I was like, Mickey, I need to activate the porn channels on my TV. It's a sad moment.
So, your films have earned $6 billion. A lot of people will be resting on the laurels, but you are working as hard as ever. Your latest film, Ender's Game, we'll talk about it in a second. Yeah. And I just wondered, that work ethic, does that come from the fact that at the other end of your career...
it comes from the fact that I spent it all. And I still have to go to work. No, I like to work. I love working. I can't imagine what I would, you know, what I'd do all day long if I didn't work occasionally.
And famously, obviously, you were a carpenter when you started out.
I started out as an actor, and I became a carpenter because I didn't like the kind of work I was...
So do you still do carpentry? Do you still...
Not so much. Not so much.
Good, that's the important thing.
Like so many poncy actors you see, like, you know, they go and maybe after filming, they're like, oh, I need to go home and have a bath and maybe read some poetry to unwind. Like Harrison, when the director shouts cut, probably opens a can of beer, then builds a shed.
But now, Jack Whitehall, on League of Their Own, you also do pranks, but they're not punchy. You would think they'd be physical.
No.
But they're mostly phone-based.
Oh, yeah, phone-based.
Yes.
So we went on a tour of the US, me, Jamie Redknapp and Freddie Flintoff for A League of Their Own. And the game of the tour was to steal each other's phones and send messages. So I got hold of Jamie Redknapp, who's the footballer. I got his phone, and he has a load of old footballers that he used to play with in the 90s when footballers were men. So I did a group text message to Stuart Pearce, a.k.a. Psycho, Dean Saunders and Neil Razor Ruddock. Whoa. And I sent them a message saying, I've got 4 tickets this Friday to go and see Jersey Boys. Who's in? So that was the first one. Then he stole my phone and sent a message to Princess Eugenie, 8th in line to the throne, saying, I've got a tiny winky. Which...
She texts back going, I know.
Technically, it was treason, so... And then I think my favourite was I got Freddie Flintoff's phone, and I decided I would text Kevin Peterson. So Kevin Peterson is the cricketer. He's quite a confident chap.
Yes.
So I got his phone, and I sent a message from Freddie to Kevin Peterson saying, I never said this when we played together, but I respect you so much as a player and as a person. So I sent it, no reply. Fred was like, it's probably not even his number, and even if it is, he's going to know that's not me. We forgot about it. 6 months later, Jamie Redknapp is doing a charity golf day with Kevin Peterson, and on the 8th hole, Kevin turns to him and goes, can I just say, I got a message recently from Freddie. He never said any of that stuff to me as a player, but for him to say that, it meant a great deal. So good. Peter Crouch, you've had a night out with my mum.
I have.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether you'd remember this.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
It was at the Isle of Wight Festival.
The Isle of Wight Festival, yeah, she was going for it. She's a lovely lady.
She is a lovely lady. It was so weird. She went to a festival for the first time ever. The first picture she sent me was this, which is like... yeah, 6 roses. She went on her own. And then I got a load of garbled, like, slightly drunk messages saying, I'm with Peter Crouch. I was like, what? And then she sent this, and that's you and her. And the festival. I was like, well, I hope she's not, like, bothering you. And then, like, 12 hours later, I got another one.
It's like a change of clothes.
Yeah. That was day 2. Yeah, you know,
What happened that night?
I can't tell you. It was a great night.
I instantly regret bringing this up.
She was on her own.
What?
She was on her own.
Have you got a sister? She not with your sister?
Well, I might do now. Very cool sister, yeah.
And Jack Whitehall, back where you belong at the far end of the couch.
Far end of the
Did you like hosting the show?
Now I know how the sausage is made. It was amazing. It was a lovely experience.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, what? It was terrifying. And
you were great. I told you were great.
You were very sweet, and your team are amazing. And I did it, and I came away from it, and I realised how brilliant the job is that you do, and also how lucky we are to have you, because you are the master of this. I'm sorry. No, I mean it. You are so good. So hard.
I watched the show, and look at you here. Your listening face is fabulous.
Yeah.
That is very good.
I learned from the best.
You're so not listening, are you?
Yeah.
It's just like a Labrador listening to conversation.
Yeah.
So let's see your listening face then.
You will. And of course, we must say, Cynthia, loving you on Strictly.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, I know. It's like the COVID silver lining. You got to be on Strictly.
Thank you very much. It was so much fun. So much fun. Everyone was really, really lovely. And it was a very random surprise. I had no idea. I was in the middle of shooting something else. On the way home, I got a call. And now, Strictly shoots on a Saturday. I found out on Wednesday that that I was going, and then the week after I found out on Thursday that I was going back again, so...
And because you were only there for the night,
Yeah.
were you not tempted to go rogue and just give ones to everyone?
No, because I also didn't want to be that most hated person in the United Kingdom. So I was just like, I'm just going to be honest and nice, and everyone was so brilliant that it was kind of easy to give some nice scores.
Yeah, 9s, 10s. You watch it, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Oh, yeah. It was so exciting when you appeared.
That's so cool, you saw it, didn't you?
Is this the first series you've been at home to watch, or do you always watch it?
I've never watched it before, and the whole world says how wonderful it is. And then this year, we've always watched X Factor on the other side previously, but...
Pull the lever.
And there we leave, Oscar Levy comes.
You can cut that bit out.
Yeah, now it's not on.
Well, and that's why I'm watching Strictly now. Because I loved it.
It's good, though, isn't it?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I can't believe I've missed all the years previously.
Have you been asked to do it, Jack?
We've had conversations, but they said that one of the other professionals would have to retire first until there's a slot available. My dad got asked.
Oh, really?
My dad got asked to be on Strictly Come Dancing. And he genuinely said that he was turning it down because he was worried about the curse. I was like, I think you're pretty safe, Michael. Look at that. We genuinely had to stage like a family intervention because he was going to do it. He was like, yeah, I'll do it. I'm a great dancer. I probably won't want to do the rehearsing. I'll just turn up and wing it. And so me and my sister had to go around and be like, you're not doing this show. You will be a family embarrassment.
Why would you deprive me of something like that?
But he wouldn't have got through to the week that you appeared. He would have been probably in an ambulance. This is very exciting. OK, first person in the red chair. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Celine.
Hello, Celine.
Hi, Jack.
What story have you got for us?
Well, this is my second visit to the Red Chair, actually.
Oh.
I was here 8 years ago.
Right.
And I told a story that I thought was really good about when I was living in France and something happened with my daughter. However, a certain guest on the sofa that night really did not like my story, and he was rather rude. He actually said, is that the best story she could come up with? Who does she bloody think she is? Funnily enough, my daughter met this person at a nightclub recently.
Oh, my God, it's me.
Yes, Jack, it was you.
I sent you a message, didn't I?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
No, thank you very much. You did apologise.
I know. I'm so sorry.
OK.
Oh, that was so awkward. Oh, dear. OK, who's next?
Hi, Jack.
Oh,
Surprise! Surprise! Hi, Peter. Hi, David.
You're looking beautiful, Hilary.
Thank you, David. Jack, I thought you might like me to come on here and actually tell you what actually happened in the Isle of Wight.
You know, it's a film, it's not a real school trip, but they are real kids, really in Cornwall.
Yeah.
So, did you have to control them?
The most humiliating bit of the whole shoot was when we do a lot of stuff where I'm driving them around in a minibus, but obviously I can't drive, so on the close-up shots, there I am driving and it's on the back of a low-loader vehicle, dragging it along. But on the wide shots, I had to take my shirt and tie off and give it to one of the children that does have a driving licence so that they could drive the minibus with me in the back, sat with all the kids. Which is quite emasculating. But no, they're good. It's a great bit, like, having them there as well, because all the kids and all the extras that play the school kids, you know, are real kids, and when you're writing it, you can take stuff that they say and sneak it into the script. There were these two boys that were on the lunch bus, and they were showing off about how many girls they'd been getting with, deliberately loudly, I think. And one of them was like, yeah, I'm Snapchatting like 8 girls at the moment, bruv. I was like, wow, Casanova's got quite the juggling act on his hands here. And then his mate, not wishing to be outdone, came out with the best line of bullshit I've ever heard. He went, yeah, well, over half term, I completed Tinder.
That went in. School trips are notoriously awful. I mean, terrible things do happen on school trips. But you went to a very nice school. So did you go on lovely things? Did you just do very nice things on your school trips?
The worst school trip I ever went on, we went to Hampton Court, and we went there, and they had real Tudor outfits that you could try on, one for a man and one for a girl. But I went to an all-boys school, and I was chosen to wear the corset and dress. And I cried, and it was awful. And Patrick Ward got to be the man, so I had to be Patrick Ward's for the afternoon. It was one of the worst experiences of my life.
Actually, I think that picture's in your book. We've got the
you have the
picture of... We ramble in, did you say?
Yes.
Look at that face!
I mean, I remember being sad, but in that photo, I mean, he looks haunted. I look like I've just leant in and whispered that I'm not wearing any knickers.
He does look like he's just in denial. Yeah. He's like, I'm not going to remember this. I'm deliberately never going to remember this happened.
Oh, I could be in Wolf Hall.
I'm on board. Jack, you would be a very good superhero because we've got a picture of Jack as an adorable superhero. Look at that superhero.
Whoa, what are you doing with your arm?
Someone wasn't paying attention. Why are you...
Kimberly, the pink Power Ranger.
But is that a serving bowl on your head?
Why? I don't know. It's a mark on the board.
That is the kid that would get killed first in a Hunger Games.
Now, Jack Whitehall, ladies and gentlemen, is in a Hollywood movie.
Hollywood!
Yes.
Thank you.
It's Mother's Day, and it comes out here on June the 10th.
Is that you?
That's Julia Roberts.
It's by the same people who made New Year's Day and Valentine's Day, and like this is big. I mean, it is Julia Roberts. Was that kind of intimidating because you are in scenes with Julia Roberts?
Yeah, I think it's quite intimidating. I think when she got over the fact that I was the guy from Bad Education, she settled into it. But no, it was amazing. Yeah, nearly all of my scenes were with Julia Roberts.
But that's nuts, isn't it?
I know, it was quite weird. And no, it was very exciting to do. I mean, I was brought back down to earth very quickly because I did this film. I flew out to America, I filmed all these scenes with Julia Roberts, and then I flew back to England. My first job, literally driven from the airport to a studio to record a voiceover for Asda.
I want to know, but I genuinely do, who do you play in this film, Jack?
I play, get ready for it, an English stand-up comedian. Working in America. It's a role that I took quite a long run up at. About 10 years.
You went deep.
I went really deep. I play a father, which is not...
A huge stretch.
Yeah, no, absolutely no children whatsoever in the old real life, but in this, there was a baby. I went to visit the lady who owned the baby in that...
Perhaps.
And I had to learn how to change its nappy for a scene. So I had to do that for an entire day, changing these nappies.
You get an entire day of changing nappies?
Oh, it's so hard. And they're wriggling around and it's kicking in your eye and you're... So I did it all, then went to see the film and they've cut the scene where I changed the nappy. So, my dad's quite old, so I might have to use it quite soon, right?
Talking of a pedigree, in fact, and genealogy and things, you did Who Do You Think You Are?
Oh, God, yeah.
And it was grim discovery.
It was the worst episode ever. I did... It was awful. I did Who Do You Think You Are? And the answer to that question is an arsehole. My whole family is just a long line of scumbags. As far as the eye can stretch. It was the worst experience ever. And I did it with my dad, and we looked into his family, and on one side, there was a philanderer who got syphilis and gave it to his wife, and then they ended up in an asylum, and then we went to Wales, and there was this guy who was a Tory MP who had put down this revolt of peasants that wanted the vote, and then he'd arrested, like, the William Wallace of Wales and had him hung, drawn and quartered. And I was doing it all with my dad, who, throughout the entire thing, just had a completely blank expression. I was like, you need to look more upset. And
he went on camera, he went, I am upset, it's deeply depressing. I had no idea we were Welsh.
Jack, you seem to have cornered the market on working with family members.
Yes.
You've done so much with your dad, and now your mother has been roped in.
Has been roped in? No, she crowbarred her way in.
Oh, OK.
So now it's a whole... Yeah, we're a whole family thing. We're like the British version of the Kardashians.
No, because the three of you have written a book.
Yeah, we wrote a book together in lockdown. I just sent it to them because I needed it spell checked, and then they started sending back chapters, and then lo and behold, we've written a book together now, and we're going on tour. We're doing a book tour. I know. I thought I'd got away. I thought I'd arrived in Hollywood. It felt like a moment of arrival this summer, and I was on a red carpet with Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt, and then within 4 months, I'm going to be at a theatre in Peterborough on stage with my mum and dad asking her what she packs in her beach bag.
It's a British tour.
It's a British tour, yeah.
Because you're not keen on anywhere where there's a language barrier.
OK. This story. I knew you'd want this. Yes. Well, no, I'm not great with the old language barrier. I was in Spain, and I was in a restaurant, and I needed to use the facilities in this restaurant. So I popped off, and I don't want to go into too much detail, but I needed to drop the kids off at the pool. So I did that. I went to flush. Didn't work. Flushed again 6, 7 times. I tried to get it down, James. Would not go. So I was like, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm not just going to do a hit and run and leave it here. I'll go out and tell someone that there's a problem with their facilities. So I went out into the restaurant. I found the waiter. Unfortunately, he didn't speak a word of English. I didn't speak any Spanish. So I ended up having to kind of gesture to this man. I was like, yes, could you just come here? No, leave them alone. Yes, just follow me. I ushered him into the toilet, right? I pointed at my poo. I went to flush. It went down straight away. How weird did I look? Like I just invited him into the toilet to say goodbye to my... Come on, let's give it a proper send-off. Flush. Rule Britannia.
And Jack Whitehall, am I right, you are using some of Arnie's tools for life?
Of course, yes. I've experienced naysayers as well. In fact, I've started reading the book, and it's amazing. And I read the training regime, and you say you get up at 5 a.m, you have a coffee, you feed your animals, the dog, the pony, you have a donkey and a pig.
The pig,
yeah.
3 dogs, yeah.
And then you get on your bike,
Judy's
and then you
jealous.
go to the gym, and you train for 45 minutes every day, and that's Arnold's, like, morning regime. And I was like, you know what? I'm on the show with Arnold tonight, I'm going to do it. Like, today's going to be the first day. Don't think about it, do it. So I got up 5 a.m, I had the coffee, I fed my dog. I'm not going to lie, at that point, I live in Notting Hill. It took me so long to find a donkey, a pig, and a pony. By the time I got to the gym, I had time for, like, 5 minutes on the treadmill. So I'm going to try again tomorrow.
I love that. Not for the first time, because you've met the Queen.
I have.
Yes. Here you are getting... is it MBE you got?
I got the MBE, yeah.
MBE. So now, does she know...
right?
Yeah. Does she know anything? Does she know anything about racing?
Yeah, I turned one down.
No, when
so...
she's actually...
I mean, I wasn't strictly offered it, but I just thought I'd nip it in the bud, called Liz up and said, I'm not interested.
Did the Queen know anything about Formula 1?
She actually did. When she was talking to me there and she said, we watch you. But the best thing is I got invited back like a year later for lunch.
You made an impression?
With a group. Oh. There was about 8 of us. And I turned up after the Brazilian Grand Prix, came back and walked in, saw the seating plan, and I was sat right next to her. So I was kind of excited.
You thought you were in?
Yeah, I was like, this is cool.
Yeah.
So I sat down, and she was to my right, and I started to talk to her, and she was like, no, you speak that way first, and I'll speak this way, and I'll come back to you. So she spoke to the guy.
Did she have cards like me? Because like, I don't have your questions. I'm talking to the woman from that charity now.
So she spoke to the guy next to her for like 5 minutes, and then she spent the rest of the time talking to me.
Yes, you won in the
It was really, really cool.
But now, you know, OBE, as you say, you got the OBE. Now, who gave you yours? Charles, was it?
Charles, yeah.
Charles. And now, the OBE, of course, I bet you can guess, or maybe you can guess, what was the tabloid headline when Ewan McGregor...
OB, one can OB.
It had to, yes.
Yeah, it had to be. It is, of course.
That's good, yeah.
OBE1 Kenobi. It writes itself.
I liked it. I really liked it. When you go there, first of all, I went with my wife and my 2 middle kids, and we got a taxi, and I got in the taxi and I went, watch this. I went, Buckingham Palace, please. And the driver just moaned for the rest of the time. He said, well, what have you got? A special day, is it? And I went, well, actually, yeah, I'm being given an OBE today with my little kids. I was all proud of myself and hopefully them for me. And
yeah.
And he went, oh, yeah, we have to park. They don't even let us out of the car for a pee. He swore in front of my little girls and moaned the entire journey. And I was just like, conquer it, you, and don't let him spoil your day. Don't let him spoil your day. Miserable.
And here you are in your kilt on the day.
There, yes. Aww. It was really great. And when you go in, you have to separate from your guests, and they go through to the hall. And then you spend the time up in this big room with all of these amazing people, different people from all walks of life. You know, a lot of servicemen and women, people from all the different forces. But also there was a man there, a wee old man in a kilt who I went over to speak to, and he was getting an OB or an MB for services to bagpipe music.
I mean, for sake. Services to bagpipe music? I've done Royal Variety twice!
That's very old. I just have to wait for a bit older. You get one when you're older, that's all.
Yeah, you're too young.
Fine. There's a wee lady, services to motorcycle riding or something. Really old lady, yes. Maybe it was
basic.
You saved me from saying something very rude.
Have you've got one?
No. What? No. How am I going to get one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. But now, surely, I think, because you have hung out with royalty, we've got pictures of you here. That's one of the royal... Is that your first Royal Variety or second?
That's the second one. I mean, that might be why I'm not getting one. Because I came on a little strong to Prince William's girlfriend. Not girlfriend, sorry, the
wife.
The Duchess,
Yeah.
the wife.
The future queen.
Sorry, yes. Kate Middy. I came on... I came on quite strong, and then when he came down the line, he went, seriously, you need to stop flirting with my missus. And so... Yeah, that's me. He's squeezing my hand very hard. This is becoming a thing now as well. I've made no bones about it. I'm a big fan of Judy Murray. Rev Judy Murray. I think she's a wonderful woman.
Okay.
And, you know, I've said that publicly. And I went to Queen's.
Very, very publicly right now.
I went to Queen's last week, and Andy Murray was there. And I've never met Andy Murray before. And he beckoned me over, and I went over like a little naughty schoolboy. And he went, Jack, you need to stop tweeting my mother. You want to see the DMs? Sorry, Andy.
Oh, imagine if you were Andy's stepdad. That'd be great, wouldn't it? I'd love it. Now, Jack, you're a young actor, so presumably...
I think you say I run. I only run if chased.
But you're a young actor. Presumably you are getting pressure now to get buff for things.
Yeah, but they say that. Like, my American agent's like, oh, yeah, if you want to get a Marvel film, you have to get buff. And I'm like, well, can I make sure that I'm getting the film first? I'm not just going to get buff and then at the end of getting buff, not get a Marvel film. I need the contract signed, delivered, the plane tickets to be booked, and at that point, I might lift something in the gym. But until that point...
No way!
The risk is too much.
What risk of what?
Of not being in a Marvel film and doing all that work. And having to eat protein 5 times a day.
Now
Do you know what I might do? Is I might just get those muscles. You know those neck ones?
The neck ones.
That, like, The Rock has?
Yeah.
I might just get really big there.
And then they just shoot you from there up.
And then they could just shoot me from there up, exactly.
You can get man spanks, I saw.
You can?
Yeah.
Those vests with muscles on.
Like body shapers and everything.
Also, CGI. Surely they could just put my head on a really muscly body.
Sure.
I'll get the neck ones, I'll do that amount of work, just those, and then just have my body, and then they can CGI me onto someone that's much fitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cynthia's ready, though. Marvel calls.
I don't think
ready.
I'd work on Cynthia's body.
Pirates of the Caribbean, you finished Pirates of the Caribbean. It's on the way now?
Well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't come out until, like, May of 2017 or something.
Do you know who's going to be really excited to see that?
Good God, who?
Young Captain Jack at the end there.
Why? Oh, for God's sake! Why is she giving him every photo?
Oh, my God!
Did you own any regular clothes as a child?
That's my granny and granddad as well. I made my granny and granddad come as sailors, and my granddad looks like he's in a Jean-Paul Gaultier advert.
Oh, dear. Okay. And Jack and Judy, you have a connection.
Yeah, we have a connection because my dad was an agent, and in the 80s, for about 5 minutes, was Judy's agent. That's right.
No, it was Michael's agent.
Michael's agent, oh, yes.
It was Mikey's agent.
Yeah.
We've had holidays with your dad.
Yes.
We all used to go on holiday together.
Wow. And Judy actually holds a very significant place in my origin story, because my parents tell this story. It was like, I think, one of the first times they'd ever met, and my mum was a young actress, and she'd gone in to meet my dad, who was an agent, and she was very nervous, and she was in his office, and my dad said that he realised that he'd shut the door behind him when he'd gone into the room, and he didn't want to give off the wrong impression and didn't want this young actress to get the wrong end of the stick, so he said he went over to the door to open the door, just to put her at ease, and as he opened the door, Judy walked past and looked in and saw my dad, and then saw this young actress, my mother, in her little miniskirt and her pixie boots, and apparently you turned to my dad and you said, "Michael, you dirty old bugger."
Sounds about right. Jack has also written bits of a book. You wrote this with your father.
I wrote it with my father.
Now,
I wrote all of it. But no, he wrote his bits, but he doesn't use a computer. So I had to type it all out, because he's very old-fashioned. He's geriatric. I mean, I took my dad to McDonald's for the first time 2 years ago. He asked for his Big Mac to be cooked medium rare. Like, that's the kind of generation of man we're talking about. He asked to see a wine list in a KFC. Like, he is on another planet. My father, he's... No, Harrison, I wouldn't even go there. But he could be in Expendables 4. Are you doing as well? Are you doing the Expendables 3?
I have done.
Oh, yes! Man, I love that film! Have you filmed it? It's so good! I haven't seen one. Oh, that's great! Oh, my God. They're the best. You just... Oh, there's a bit where Jean-Claude Van Damme kicks a knife into a guy's chest. Just from nowhere! It's amazing. You walk out the cinema and you're so pumped. You want to just burn something or like... There's the best scene in Expendables 1, if you watch it, where Sylvester Stallone and Mickey Rourke have a 5-minute conversation, all right? I challenge the best linguistics expert on the planet to understand a word that is said. It might as well have been shot underwater. No, seriously, I saw on BBC Two very late at night the other night. You know the guy doing the sign language? He just gave up.
This is a breakthrough role for you, Jack, because an American accent.
Yes.
Yes.
He's doing an American accent.
What, in that clip?
Yeah. Olivia!
He was.
I feel the Oscar buzz whistling away.
He was.
No.
I'm so sorry. I heard it. Terrible.
Yes, no.
Yeah. It was good. It was
Thank
good.
you very much.
I heard it. I
Yes.
heard it. It was
You
good.
see, what a lot of actors do when they do an American accent is they tend to just go for, like, one region of America and they commit to a single American accent. I decided with this role that I would take us on a tour around all 50 states. Sometimes in the same scene. I thought, why just do one when you can show off them all? So I would start the scene talking like I was from New York, and then all of a sudden I'm suddenly speaking like I'm a Cali girl, and by the end of the scene they're stopping me because it sounds like I'm from the Dukes of Hazzard. And it went all over the place. But I thought, you know, just show off your skills.
And it's out in America already, so yes. Are you getting responses from audiences, people liking it?
Yeah, people seem to really like it. It's done great in the States, and yeah, I'm excited for it to come out here. People take it very seriously in America, because it's kind of like their version of Paddington. So, and that's kind of the tone of the movie as well. But, like, grown adults who grew up with Clifford the Big Red Dog and get so, like, obsessed over the weirdest details as well.
Oh.
There was a guy who tweeted at me, it's quite weird, he was in the cinema and he'd taken a screenshot and it was a screenshot of Clifford from behind with his tail up, and he tweeted at me going, "Why doesn't Clifford have an anus?" I was like, should you be at a kids' film? Should you be near children at all? And then it's one of those crazy things, because it's the internet. Underneath, there's like a whole discussion underneath this comment saying, if he doesn't have an anus, then he can't poop. And then someone else underneath it, best response ever, had put, maybe that's why he's so big.
Very good. Have you had a lot of advice from parents?
The vast majority of parents that you ask, I found there's, like, no middle ground when you're, you know, talking to parents about having kids. Like, one end of the spectrum, you have parents that talk to you about, like, having a child with this, like, demented enthusiasm. They're like, oh, the miracle of childbirth, like, they're the only people to have ever done it. You know, you've got to get one, it's going to change your life. I always say they're like people with air fryers. It's just a bit... And then you've got that end of the spectrum, and then in the other end of the spectrum, you've got those parents that talk to you like they're like Vietnam War veterans. And they're like 1,000-yard stare, and they're covered in baby suit. They're like, don't do it, man. And I had one of them. I had one of the Nam vet parents at a wedding. I was sat next to her at a wedding, and she was quite drunk. And she just launched into me with a load of, like, uninvited life advice. She was like, you need to make the most of your life while you can, because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, Jack, is you're going to get married, and then you're going to have a baby, and your life is going to be over. I was like, thanks for the pep talk, Mum. I'm just going to go to the dance floor now and give you a little bit of time to yourself.
If you demonstrate a sachet away...
Yeah.
So if Jackie would like to...
Great.
So Jackie has disappointed us...
Should I tuck?
Yeah. You could tuck.
Tuck.
Yeah, tuck.
I'll sling it over the shoulder.
Yeah. OK.
Where do I go? What do I do?
You go there, we'll have some music. So, well, wait. Oh. You're going to be told to sash away.
Walk off.
Yeah. After the kids have done a lip sync for their life, and one girl lip syncs better than the other to save herself, and the other girl has to sashay away, and that's when I tell one of the loser, not loser, the one who did not win, I tell that girl to sashay away.
Okay,
that's what happens.
And should I serve a little bit of sass as I...
Well, no, there's a lot of tension at this point because they're waiting. You will have just lip synced for your life.
Okay.
And you're waiting for the verdict, okay?
Right.
So you're sort of praying inside that you get to stay.
Okay.
Okay, this is the lip... Yeah.
Good.
Tuck, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's quite a meaty tuck, by the way. Jackie, my dear. I'm sorry, but this is not your time. Now, sashay away.
What's this sashay? A little stiff. Oh, good. Well done, Jackie Balls. Black ball. Very good. Beautiful.